problem about balance. We've lost our connection to the earth, right? But you can keep your shoes on today so that you can practice the balance like that, or you can remove them, all right? I'm gonna go ahead and take mine out because I have these big cluggy Uggs boots. And I think I'll go ahead and take my socks off too. But you guys choose. Everybody here is choosing what they want to do, what's best for them. And again, I suggest that you take turns. Sometime you'll wear your shoes, another time you will take those feet to the ground. But again, whatever is good for you. Can you guys hear me okay through my mask? Because I'm still, they've said we don't have to, but I still feel more comfortable having my mask on, and I just don't think it's fair for me to remove it and everybody else has to wear it. So, all right. We'll go ahead, we'll get started seated in the chair, because that's where everybody is right now. And you guys are able to see me okay. Finding ourselves. Let's find ourselves. You know, usually we want to start with those straight spines, right? But let's find ourselves kind of rolling back into the back of our chair, right? So that we can see what happens when we're really not attending a lot.
Put your feet on a block.
To our posture.
Sorry. If you can put your feet on the block.
Onto blocks if you want, right? Because we won't be here long, but I just want you to find how that chair and your spine find themselves together. Oh, someone else is trying to get in. Excuse me, Adrian. Let her come in here. Hey, Adrian.
Hello, Adrian.
Thanks for coming. She joined us on our walk yesterday too, which was really nice. Appreciated that. Yeah, okay. So anyways, we're gonna go ahead and find ourselves connected to the back of our chair. In that, we're gonna feel really like we've kind of just sunk ourselves down there and back. And so I want you to just let everything go. I want you to let your arms be really loose. I want to let your knees be really loose. Let your back be really loose. And let your head go wherever you want that head to go. All right? I would suggest you don't just let it go straight back, because you're going to compress into that neck area a little bit too much. Okay? But just feel into that chair. And this is why our chairs have become our, I don't want to say enemy, but they work against us. Because when I get to the chair, I mold my body to the chair, or I mold my body to the sofa, rather than using the chair or using the sofa or wherever I am as a tool to remind me what good posture is, remind me what I can do while I'm sitting there watching TV or passing my time at the computer. It's something really different, right? So, everybody, now I want you to come forward into your chair. Pull your back away. Sit your feet on the ground so that everybody is connecting to the earth's surface. And find your spine in alignment. We're going to look at that kinetic chain like we did before. Kinetic chain being what connects myself to the earth, my feet, what connects myself to the chair, the back of my upper thighs, my hips, my sit bones, and then I'm going to utilize a little energy. So I'm not going to slouch. Something you'll hear me say in the balance class is that a tight body, right, when we contract, we're going to actually feel lighter and be able to feel a little more lifted up. Okay. So let's check in. Are our feet parallel to one another? And are our ankles and knees in alignment? Knees and hips in alignment. That means I don't have one leg out farther than the other. I'm really trying to line everything up. We're doing this seated first, and we're going to do it standing, okay? And then this head that weighs maybe 10 pounds can really throw us off balance if we're leaning forward with it, or leaning back with it. And sometimes in our asanas, our poses, we are doing that, right? And then every time we take our head and move it, that vestibular system of ours, that inner ear changes too, and that affects our balance, okay? So here we are. Let's stretch our hands out and just let the fingers maybe roll around those knees a little bit. Let your shoulders pull down. And everybody should feel pretty balanced here, right? We should feel like, yeah, this feels good. It feels good on my spine. It feels good on my feet. It feels good in my chest, right? And then let's just, to warm up the spine, that's real important for strength and balance and stability. We're going to go ahead and bring ourselves forward with our heart reaching hard up. Gaze rises. And then I curl and I tuck and I round into myself. Pull those shoulders down, exhale. And then lifting heart up, inhale. And keep going through this nice, sweet head and count. Moving our heads here. We're depending on the fluid in our inner ear to help us do this and not feel nauseous, right? That's what happens when people have, help me out, Shelley, what is it called? When people,
Vertigo.
vertigo. I knew it started with a V. Thank you all. As they feel nauseous when they're doing these kinds of movements because that fluid is not following along with your body's movement, your head's movements. Let's do one more set here. Warming up the spine. Opening up the heart. Good. And then sitting up straight and tall here. Let's work on a little strengthening. Let your hands come down. Lift them only up to shoulder height. And maybe that doesn't work for you. Then take them wherever that angle is, okay? Open up your fingers, palms up. Let's pull those shoulders back and reach your heart towards me. And then exhale, curl again, but don't tuck the chin so much as reach that chin and that head a little bit forward as your hands connect in front of you and you feel that nice tense opening in the shoulder area. Come on back, inhale. And exhale. Feel more your own breath pace, okay? Breath is vital. Vital for our balancing. Breath is vital for our stretching. Because you may find your edge. And you may say, okay, that's my edge. How can I stay in that edge? Is to breathe through that sensation. And breath is essential for strengthening. Let's do one more set here. Nice breath. I can hear you guys breathing. That's wonderful. And then letting ourselves, after this last kind of turning in on ourselves, opening up wide again. Thumbs coming downward, pinkies coming upward, okay? And then from here, go ahead and take hands to your shoulders and extend. Inhale here, lengthening. Exhale, trying to keep the elbows lifted. We're gonna feel this in our trapezius muscles. For strengthening. If you have weights at home, I didn't put anything out here. You can certainly do this with weights, but your arm has weight. So in doing this, we're moving our own weight. Really good for our shoulders too here, but again, only doing what feels right for you all, okay? Let's do two more. And I want you to start to feel that those arms are getting heavier. So let's go ahead and just do a little bit of this. So again, strengthening our arms here, warming up the upper body. Not doing a whole lot, but just getting into those little tiny muscles that connect into our chest wall, our arms. Good, and then extend out long. Try to maintain this level as you just lean over with your body, right? The upper body's leaning, arms are staying in that same position. Maybe I look up, maybe I stay forward, maybe I look down, check into your neck and see what it wants to do. Lift up with your core. Your arms might be getting heavy. Feel free to take them down at any time. This is part of the strengthening. You all will know what you need and what doesn't feel right for you, okay? Taking a break is perfectly fine. Bring yourself up. And then exhale and take your hands to your shoulders and let's take some circles here. That should feel a little bit of relief from having the arms out. And here we stretch into shoulders, into chest. And taking these circles to that circumference that works for your body. Okay? Knowing that all of our joints are working in a different way, right? Good. Let those hands come down. Whew. Let's go ahead and slide down one side. You don't have to lift this arm. You can let it hang, but only if you want. You can start to take it up to wherever your shoulder says yes, but let it hang. Really what we're doing here is getting into that side stretch. So feeling that, taking a couple breaths here. Remember how our breathing will help us stay in a position. But don't hold breath when we hold our asana. Bring yourself up slowly. Yeah, exhale. Let's do that other side. Slide down. This arm can just stay right there, you guys, okay? You're still getting that stretch, right? Or you can lift up to any angle. This is all about angles and geometry here, right? And every angle has worth. You have worth. Whatever you're doing, maybe you look up, and maybe you look forward, and maybe you look down. Taking that arm up, lift your body up with it, or just lifting up that torso. Good, you guys. Let's do some joint opening in the wrists with some wrist circles, and let's take that up. My daughter's taking a flamenco class. I always want to say flamingo, and then I have to think, oh yeah, you're right, that's the bird. But she sent me some photos of it. It looks really fun. She is natural at dance. And then take your fingers out, bring them up, if that is okay again for you. And let's do some shoulder shrugging here. Into our shoulders, into our deltoids. Yes. And lower down. Let's rise up to your level, right? Wherever it is, all we're going to do, whether you're up here, here, or here, is we're going to swoop down and we're going to cross one arm under the other. Remember which one that is. I don't like to say left and right because that can be confusing sometimes for people, and also when you're Zooming or Facebooking, sometimes it's opposite. And then go ahead and take those arms either here, if that feels all right for you, hugging into yourself, or taking them forearms together. And let's go ahead here and start in working with the legs a bit. Lift up with your elbow points a little bit. Extend one leg out. Bend into your knee. Pull your elbows into your knee. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen leg. lift gaze and arms to wherever they go and bring it back in. Good breath, Shell. 2 more, please. It's good to hear your breath, you guys. Either by breathing in the nose and out through the mouth, or by ujjayi breath all through your nose and tightening and constricting a bit into your throat area. Go ahead and lift back to neutral. Let that leg extend and then place it down and release those arms. Oh yeah, let's just float them here a bit. Whatever height is good for you. Good for you, Luann. Luann just got up and stretched into her legs and we're getting up there pretty soon. All right, now from whatever height, take that opposite arm under, okay? And then you guys go to here, or you go wherever your shoulders allow, or you come to here, okay? And let's lift that other leg up as we lift our elbows up, extend. That's my inhale. Exhale, I pull those elbows towards my navel and I curl in a bit. And then extend that leg. And exhale back. Into myself. 2 more here. And I'm keeping my foot flexed, but you don't have to. You can point to, or you can let that leg be kind of loose, but remember the adage, a tight body is a light body. So we tighten those muscles up a little bit and let that leg come down. Release your arms, let go. Come on up to your level here. And come on down, chin to chest. 2 more, inhale, lift. Look, chin to chest, exhale. Hearing your breath just allows another one of your senses for you to attend to. And as I mentioned, maybe in my other classes, that paying attention to something or someone is also paying them affection. So you're paying your breath affection when you attend to it. All right, we're going to start by beginning to get out of our chairs. Open up the feet, toes out, heels in, and come to the edge of your chair. And let's just do a little bit of this. Back and forth. Toes out, heels in, and then your knees will follow the direction of your toes, right? Sometimes we'll take those knees in, and that's a good internal rotation. Right now, we're going to work on external rotation. I'm lifting up onto the ball of my foot so I can strengthen this muscle here. And Sherry, strengthening your lower leg muscles and your upper leg muscles. We're going to help those knees. All right, we gotta keep you strong, all of you lovely ladies. And then from here, let's go ahead, take our hands onto our thighs, lean your body weight forward. And then take your weight into your feet, slowly lift up and trying to get that body more upright than forward. All right, again, trying to find an equilibrium and balance by having more alignment. This is going to make me feel like I'm going to go on my face there. Okay, go ahead, squat down maybe a little more. Let's come up. Inhale, arms opening only to where it feels right for you. Exhale, come on down, come into a hug. Inhale up, maybe here, maybe here, maybe here. And then an X, and then hug yourself in the opposite way. Inhale, listen. Good for you, Shelly, and good for you, Pam, making those modifications. Listening to our bodies, so vital. Attending, giving affection to our bodies. Here we go, let's affection our bodies here with a big hug. One more time, opposite way. Good. And then standing up. So that form of standing, you should feel pretty balanced, all right? It's not like having the feet under your hips. where we're building that kinetic chain, right? Feet, but this is still really a balanced place. Like when we do goddess, for instance, that's a very balanced, strong pose. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and move my chair off. You guys might want to too and come to your mats, okay? We'll use the chair again as a tool here in a bit, but we're gonna stand in this strong supported way for a bit here. And we're gonna work in and out of some other poses that are seemingly very stable, but we're gonna take them into a little bit of instability. So, and if that is in your way, please move it, Shell. My legs just are a little wider and longer, such. So any of you, if that one is in your way, toss it. I just put that to kind of protect the green mats a little bit more. All right, so now let's turn toes towards forward, all right? So your feet are parallel to one another. So again, out there and here, when we're looking at balance, so important to see where are my feet, okay? Because that's all about the balance piece. And sometimes then we're balancing on our arms, right? For instance, if you're doing three-limbed plank or three-limbed down dog, that's a balancing on arms and foot. But right now we've got our feet planted nicely. We're gonna let our arms come up to here if that's possible to you, or any place that you wanna make your five-pointed star. And then turn toes out. You guys can hear me or do the opposite. So one set of toes are out, one is still in that same place. So as you guys see, this is what we do to set up for a triangle pose, okay? I'm gonna take my body over this way. Let myself shift. A lot of weight is coming this way, right? And you feel that in your feet. Still stay connected as even as you can. Come back up. Inhale. Take it to the other side. Feel the weight distributing in a different way. Bring yourself up. And our arms have to stay up too. So that's weight that we're lifting, our arms. Bring yourself up to center. One more time this way. Oh yeah, feel that. Opening. Come back. And now let's go ahead, shift our weight forward. Feel that on both feet, but now we're going to take a little bit of weight off of our heel on this foot. And I'm going to come up a little bit onto the ball of that foot. Feeling that, intensify the strengthening, intensify the balancing, because we just let part of our foot off the ground. May not come up very high, that's okay. Bring that heel back down. Now let's bend into this knee. And let's test and see if when we bend into the knee, it's a little bit easier to shift that weight off of the entire back foot. So now we're in more of a warrior two. You want to try to have this knee and ankle in alignment. So take a look, you guys. If you find that your knee is going past it, you might need to widen your stance, okay? Trying to keep our body though, right now, we want to stay in the present. We don't want to shift the weight forward or back. Let's start centered. So just take a look at that. We might need to regroup. If we're going this way, let's bring ourselves back, okay? Find center. And now let's go ahead. Let's come back. But we're still keeping everything grounded, okay? Let's come center. Let's come forward. And let's come back. Now, pulling this way. See if your heel wants to lift on that front side. Yeah. Feeling that shifting maybe of our body's weight. Go ahead and let that heel come down. Bring your body back into center. Right? And now let's come this way. And now may lift off of the heel and the back side. Always have a chair if that feels like you need a chair to sustain you here. Bring yourself down, body center. Woo! Straighten your leg, take your feet back. And let's just do something in between before we go to the other side, because I don't know about you, but I'm feeling that. Let's take the toes out, heels in. Come on down. And right here, let's take one shoulder forward, the other one back. I just got my chiropractic pump, looking over my back shoulder. And then coming back around in the front. And looking towards it. I just shared my chiropractor's information with Evelyn. Those of you that know her, you might be going to him. Bring yourself back. Lengthen your legs. And let's just do empty coat sleeves here. What that means is we just let our arms dangle. So we feel the difference between contraction and not. The arms are just boop, willy-nilly. Maybe you can kind of tap into your kidney area. Adrenals back there. Good. And then let's go ahead, take toes forward again. Start back in that nice parallel position with your feet. So toes forward. Yes. Heels. Yes. Good. That's good, you guys. Then let's take the other leg, whichever one you didn't use before. Take it so the toes point out now. Right? So one foot forward, the other one out. Arms release out. And we're staying in this triangle pose. We're moving ourselves forward. We're moving ourselves back to center. Guys always want to come during this time and make a lot of noise with their leaf blowers out there. Come on. I think leaf blowers are just, oh well. I'll keep my comments to myself. Bring yourself back. It's hard for me to do sometimes. But I learned a lot about that this weekend when I was with my family. Keep your comments to yourself. Go ahead, move it forward here. Only if it feels right for you. See about lifting the heel just a little bit. Oh, just a little bit, or stay planted. Put down, body back in the center. Last time we didn't do it the other way, so let's try that. Come over here. You'll find this easier, I think. Go ahead and lift on that front heel. Is that easier?
Yeah.
Yeah. For me too. And then bring it down. Bring it down. Let's bend into this knee, and let's find that knee and ankle connection, right? So that you're not letting that knee go past your ankle. Back just a little bit. Yes, that's good. Land. That looks good, all three of you. You guys can't see it, I don't have my glasses on, but pay attention to that piece, okay? Let's go ahead and come forward one time. Keep your feet flat. Come back to center. Come back. Feet flat. Come back to center. Come forward. Only if you feel like you want to. Lifting that back heel off the ground. So we have challenged ourselves in several ways. Shifted that whole heavy part of our body and taking part of our sensorial groundedness off of our feet. Shift back here if you want to lift. This should be a little easier. So, good. Place it, put down. Coming back to center. Hands here. Straight leg. Feet forward. Let's walk on in. And let's find our kinetic chain, because what we'll do now is we'll work with the chair, and we'll work with our balancing. You want to stretch out anything, shoulders or whatever. Feel free to do that. Moving. And tonight is our in-person dance class with Viola. Anybody wants to come? The last Thursday, I'm doing it. And I'm calling it Julie's Dance Party. So anybody that wants to come, that would be great. I will probably Zoom it too, just so people can have fun seeing other people dance if they don't feel like coming. We're gonna have a disco light and all of that. So I'll bring some treats. So let's go ahead. It's actually a surprise birthday party. It's not for me. Some people said, oh, it's for you. No, but I just told the person that it's for comes. So, all right. So feet parallel, hands open, pull in that navel, lift your chest, let your head be. So I wore these really long earrings, so I could see if they could come over my trapezius there, those chandelier type earrings. Right, move myself away from that chicken neck. Let's take a few breaths. Samastiti. Samastiti means attention, right? At attention. And it's embodied in this pose of Tadasana, mountain pose. Samastiti, attention. And again, what did I say? Attention means affection. So we're giving affection to this kinetic chain. So line us up. Good. Let's go ahead, with or without the chair. We'll pull the chair in for sure. See if you can lift up and down on your balls of your feet, lifting the heels off. Take a chair if that really feels better for you. We will get into that chair here too for sure. Strengthening your calves. Sherry, and anybody else, when you're doing dishes, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're standing somewhere in line, raise up and down on the balls of your feet to strengthen your legs. Okay? And it's really good to do this too before you go for a hike so you don't end up with shin splints. Good. And now let's march it out. I don't think you'll need the chair for this. But when we're marching, it's different than walking because we're letting that leg lift up, right? And when you march, you take that opposite arm up, right? We don't march like this, right? But I want you to try it. I want you to try to march like this and see how it is more difficult to balance. Our bodies are smart. They're made to do things to make things easier for us, to protect us. Good. And now let's go ahead and begin with weight on one foot. Take out the other leg, knee, right? Take out the other knee, open up. We're just going to do this. And maybe you want to use arms. But again, if you start to move the arms, that's a little more of a challenge for you. And also, that marching and this is a little bit aerobic cardio. The higher you lift your arms, the more it will be because our heart has to work harder. Good. And then let's go ahead and take our feet back. Let's work out our hips. And Julie's dance party is not going to be a class. We're not going to teach dance that night. We're just going to come and we're going to dance and have fun. So bring your favorite music. All right, taking out the other foot. Really, now this is where that tighter, the lighter is. If I just go loose here, sinking down, it's going to be harder for me to balance. I have to press weight down, pull in my muscles to my bones, including this, lifting, not leaning, right? And then I go ahead and I begin this, and maybe springing so that the tighter, the lighter. One side's tight, one side's light. Maybe I use my arms. Good protection mode there, Shelly. Keep protecting yourself. Truly. You know your body. God, you remind me of somebody else that I work with that always make sure they do that needed modification. Good. Put yourself down and wiggle it out just a bit. Good. Let's go ahead and take ourselves behind the chair now. Just because you may want to utilize that chair a little bit more for balance that we're going to be doing. We'll have the tallest part of the chair close to us. Okay. And remember, when we're using the chair, you're pressing downward. You're not pulling it, right? That would not be a smooth move, right? So let's go ahead and walk both of our feet back, stretching out our spine. Have your feet under your hips. All right, so I'm not going into a down dog. I'm going more into a half lift. I want to press my feet into the ground. Feel that stretch in the backside of my legs. Got to make sure we keep them open and flexible when we're strengthening. We don't want to lose our flexibility. When we're flexible, we don't want to lose our strength. All right? Both of those so vital, important for our balance. Bend into your knees. Come forward and up into the balls of your feet. Curl into yourself here. Chin to chest. Let your feet come down and do that 3 more times. Lift onto the balls of your feet. Curl into yourself. Bring your heels down slowly. Inhale. Exhale as you curl in. And bring those feet back down. Oof. 1 more time. Building that strength. Sherry, this is for you, for your legs, for your knees, and it's for all of us. Bring your feet down. Woo! Straighten those legs. And walk them out a bit here. And now let's take ourselves a little bit farther back so that our feet are behind our hips a bit. And we're getting a little more stretch maybe in our shoulder. And this is where, if that is not good for your shoulders, just bring yourself up closer to the chair, okay? And then go ahead and walk up towards the chair. And we're going to, and can you see me okay, Pam? Might take this at an angle. Yeah, better there. So now, utilizing the chair for as much or little as you want to, but remember that's our safety tool there. Go ahead, place weight into one of your legs. And again, what does that mean? Tighten up there because the other side's going to start to lift and be lighter. Lift that foot off the ground. And then take the opposite hand up and forward. And start to take it to the side. Have your gaze follow. Maybe go behind you. Now we're shifting our drishti, our gaze. Bring it back out from your shoulder and forward. And let that foot come down. So we've challenged now with movement of our body and our gaze. Okay. So let's do the other side. Place weight in the opposite leg and pick up the other one. Take the opposite arm up. So one leg, one side is up and bent, the other hand is out. Your fingers are lightly on that chair. Press down, lift up, slowly take that hand to the side or wherever your arm and your gaze will go to. And bring yourself slowly back. Good. Foot down. Walk it out a little bit. I think you probably felt the difference in that. So if we lift one leg off the ground, we're going to feel it. If we start to move our body, we're going to feel it. If we start to move our gaze, we're going to feel it. We're going to do that one more time. Place weight into one foot. Lift the other. Find first. Can you do this and not have your hands put too much weight on the chair? Right? But remember the chair is there. Opposite hand lifts up. Make it strong. Right? Make it strong. Not loose because it's going to weight us down. Right? And go ahead and open the door. Slowly. Looking. See that shifting in your foot that's grounded? Mine is at least. Slowly bring it back. We did that fast, we might fall. Take it slow. And if you think back to times that you fell, I want you to raise your hands if you were in a hurry.
If I was what?
In a hurry
Oh,
when you fell,
no.
okay? I was, right? A lot of times I was in a hurry and I fell. So let's take our time. That doesn't mean we have to slow down, everything we do, it's that attention or affection to ourselves enough to care, to know that we're taking care of ourselves in a good way. Let's do the other side. So one foot stays down, the other one lifts up. The opposite arm lifts up of the leg that's up, right? Maybe I'm testing my balance just here, right? And then I start to move. And I start to watch that hand tick, 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 as that clock hand moves. And I get into a little bit of a twist. Aren't you glad that chair was there a while? It's like when I go, it's like when I go caving and I wear my helmet and I hit my head on the top of the cave. Like, thank you, helmet, for being there. Or when I've fallen off my bike and that helmet has saved me. All right, let's do a little bit now, still with this bigger side of the chair towards us. We're gonna walk back. We're gonna come into a bit of a warrior three here. So again, hands are on that chair and you are weighted kind of downward, right? Not this way, guys, okay? Don't pull it back, hands down. Keep one foot planted. That's gonna tell you, put strength into that leg. Bend into the other, come to the ball of that other foot. Slide it back so that you're on the ball of that foot. Trying to get your hips in alignment, strengthening both legs right now. And then lifting up the leg that's extended, pressing through your heel. Only if you feel like it, lifting the other opposite arm up off of the chair. Gaze is down. This is our peak pose today, okay? Hand on the chair, foot down, bend into your knee. Walk your foot back. And let's walk up to the chair. Remember what you lifted, okay? Bend into your knees and let's just open up here. So however high your arms go, come on down, exhale. Inhale. And exhale, bring it on down. Good. And then let's go ahead and do the other side. So bring your body back. Lengthen your spine. Feel your tailbone pulling back and out. Okay. And then I'm going to take weight into the opposite leg, foot, side of my body. The other one comes and come to the ball of that foot and then send it behind me. Maybe adjusting my hips a little bit so that they're not out of alignment. When and if you want, lifting that back foot an inch or two or no higher than your hip. Press through the heel there, you guys. Make yourself tighter so that your body can be lighter. If you want, the opposite hand of the leg that's lifted may want to lift off of the chair. Breathe here. Hand down, bend into the standing knee. Place that foot down, bring it forward. Walk yourself forward. Bend into your knees, release hands, lift up. Wherever your arms go, exhale, bend into the knees. Lift and look. Offer heart, and exhale. Good, and then at the back of the chair, let's just go ahead and lift and lower. Lift and lower. Hands here or down.
And then one more time, if you'd like to lift and try to hold. Where are your toes right now? Shouldn't be like this, clawing, okay? Try to get them flat so as much of the toe is present on the earth. That balance that we just did is really important to tighten everything. So I want to do it again, but I want you guys to really attend to give that affection to your body. Are you really strong in the legs? Are you strong in your core? Are you strong in your arms? Are you strong in everything? And your head's not forward, okay? Go ahead, press into the balls of your feet. Lift up. Before you take your hands off, are you pressing down into the ball of the foot and all the toes are this way, okay? Not this way. Have them be as flat as you can. Take that strength into your legs, take it into your core, squeeze into those glutes, lift your chest. Stay right there or begin to lift one or both hands off the chair. And down. Good, you guys. Work it out. Very good. We're going to do one more balance, and some of us here may come to the wall to do it. You don't need to do that. I'm going to show you what to do here without coming to the wall. But if you want to come to the wall, you can. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways. If you have blocks, right, you're going to start like this, lift, open, and then maybe come here. Right? Hardest one to do right here, okay? Don't want you all to try it, please. Just showing. So like Chris, you've had a lot of practice. Maybe that's something you want to do. Maybe you want to take your hand all the way to the ground. That is called half moon. So please don't think you need to try this, you guys. I want to show you all the ways first, okay? And then I want you to choose your medicine, all right? The other one is taking it to the chair. One hand centered. Start to raise that leg back, open up. Notice I'm not like this, like warrior 3. I'm open. Foot is flexed. Arm can reach or it can stay here. You want to do both sides, okay? And then the other, oh, and your fourth choice is to not do this at all, okay? Don't have to. The other, if you have a wall, I know Shelly likes to do this. I don't know if she's gonna feel like doing it today, and that's okay. I've got my hip up against the wall. I've got my shoulder up against the wall, and then I'm going to come down. I'm on a block here, and then I'm going to raise my leg up and open up, and maybe have my hand here, or release it up. It feels so good to have that kind of support, okay? So I want you guys to try it one way or the other. And remember, one of those ways is not to try it at all, okay? So if, again, I'll go over the chair, because I got a couple people doing it on the chair here. You'll be here, first with that tailbone back. You raise one leg up. Take the opposite hand, maybe a little more centered. And you can leave both hands on the chair, you guys. You really can. You don't have to take it off. Because right here, you're still balancing. You have 3 points of contact rather than 4. Or you can take your hand to your hip, right? But not necessary. You might just play with that piece, right? And then you'll take the other side. Shall you want to come over here so people can see? Do you mind? Oh, being a model. Oh, Shelly's gonna do it on the, let's see how I do it on the wall. Because it looks like it's hard. I remember Shelly, when she first did it, said, oh, I don't think I could do that. But then she let her body, she let the fear go, and she did it. Is this it? Yep. That was a good catch, Luann. Let me see here.
Okay, I'm going up, one arm off, and I have to turn out.
Okay, wait.
Maybe
Okay.
this is making it.
Yeah.
Should the front leg be straight?
Should your what?
Front leg be
Yes.
straight?
Yes. Lock it in.
Good.
Okay, how many seconds here?
Oh, whatever you want, Shel.
Oh,
Yeah,
I might do it again.
yeah. Did you do the other side?
Mhm.
Okay, good. All right, so you guys, hopefully you're practicing that or you're hanging out, watching us do what we're doing. I'm gonna turn this so you can see. Is that all right, you guys? Gotta let them see what you're doing. There's Pam. Can you see that? Pam doing it. There you go. Here is Lou Ann. Yep. Right? So you all practicing where it feels right for you, right? But you know those are options. And again, I love the fourth option of just not doing it at all. Because you've had enough. Because this has been
Doing it on the rug is slippery, on the double
challenging.
rug.
doing it on the rug.
Yeah, it was moving around.
Yes, doing it on, your surface makes a big difference in that first piece of the kinetic chain. What are we connected to, right? Again, if I have shoes on, it's gonna be harder. If I don't have shoes on, it's gonna be easier. If I'm on a mat, it's gonna be harder. If I'm on a tile or a wall, wooden floor, it's gonna be easier. Because I'm connected more to a solid surface. Because mats, even though they're really thin, there's a little bit of movement there, okay? That looks great. Really strengthening for the upper body, really strengthening for the lower body, and just a nice way.
It's a huge opening.
It's good
Huge
for
opening.
balancing too. Well,
Yeah.
Huge opening, yeah. So, good, and that is called Tadasana, standing half moon pose. And you can do that coming out of a warrior three, or you can do it coming out of a standing split. Or you don't have to do it at all. Let's go ahead and have a seat. All right. And let's sit more forward so that our feet could be flat, okay? For some of us, that's a little more forward just because we have less distance between our knees and our feet. Let's sit up straight and tall, you guys. Really good practice today. Taking a few breaths. Coming into balance with our mental state, our emotional state, our physical state. Balance, harmony. Lots of names for that. Equilibrium. There's another name for it. It's more medical, and I'm losing that term right now. Homeostasis. Bringing yourself back into homeostasis. Let your arms come down. And raise them up just to whatever level feels good to you. Open your heart. Let's do one more part of it to each other. And let's do one more hug into ourselves. And then let's release hands at heart center or covering your heart space. Giving yourself love, receiving that love from others. Thank you all for being here today. It's been a pleasure, and I hope that you were able to challenge yourself a bit in some of these strengthening and stretching and balancing poses. So from my heart to yours, thank you all there in Zoom land and all of you that are here in present. Namaste. Thank you. Muito bem, muito bem.
Thank you.
Muito bem. I'd like to ask you guys to do something for me before you leave, if you would. And that is, Viola wants to get photos of
I
people
knew
doing
it.
heart poses, okay? And so I'll show you some really easy things. You can even get seated in a chair. If it's not for you,